Hello to everybody. This lesson is about archetypes. Before talking about archetypes and trying to understand this unknown word, I would like to answer to a question. Which is the secret of success of big brands? Think about Coke, Nike, Apple, Vodafone, Amazon, Barilla. Which is the reason of their success? And I want to show you a very interesting book by Byron Sharp. The title is How Brands Grow and is published by Oxford University Press. This book is very interesting for me because it tends to answer through researches to actual, not theories, but facts, analyzing the consumer data of a lot of brands and categories and countries all over the world. They come out with this conclusion. Which is the secret of success of big brands is the physical and mental or emotional availability. Physical availability is quite easy to understand, even if it's not so obvious. Think about the web. Think about Amazon is perfectly able to answer this human request of being available right now. When I have a desire, when I want something, when I need something, I can always have it available. Think about Coke. Coke is the king of this ubiquity. Coke is everywhere. Every time you have a desire to make a party and to be with people you love and have a party, is everywhere. Coke is everywhere. But there is another kind of availability which to me is much more important, which is the mental or emotional availability. And this is something which is not so easy to obtain, even if you spend a lot of money on advertising and promotions and doing all the marketing mix you need. If you don't have a clear idea in mind of the emotional values of your target consumer and the emotional values of your brand and the connection between the two, you will fail. Archetypes are a perfect tool to understand this emotional availability. Think about that the brain, the human brain, works in a particular way. Neurosciences teach us that 80% of the decisional process comes at an emotional level, not at the rational level. I'm a researcher. I worked as a researcher for 20 years. 80% of the researches are useless. You can pick them and throw them away. It's a waste, a huge waste of money, because the questions are asked in a very rational way, and people answer in a rational and socially acceptable way. Even in focus groups, you think you can obtain emotional, deeper responses. It's not the perfect set. It's not the right tool. The answers are very rational and very socially acceptable, because it's very hard for people to express in a verbal way something which is emotional. So we need different types of tools to investigate the emotions. And archetypes are a perfect tool to me. They are very intuitive. And if a brand is clearly expressing this archetype, can enter into such a deep emotional connection with its consumers that can be considered mentally available. The other thing I wanted to tell you is just to help you to understand this maybe black box word of the brain. Imagine the brain as a black box. Close your eyes and first of all you will see a complete black. Then you will see some lightnings. Imagine these lightnings are routes. So you have highways, which are much lighter, and then you have curved little minor routes. This is our brain. Then what we do is usually that if a stimulus comes from outside and can actually be connected to the highways, so the more the lightful routes, it's easier to remain and to be elaborated by our brain. If it doesn't belong to this highway and it goes to minor routes, then it will easily disappear. So the highways can be renamed as homeways, are connections of stimuli which bring to something reassuring, emotionally reassuring for us. And we know that if we take these highways, we will arrive to a positive and sure and effective result. Very rarely people tend to use different minor routes. But even in minor routes, if different stimuli confirm always the same direction of this route, will become, with the passing of time, another highway. So this can change in people's mind. But what is relevant is that it's easier for a brand to enter into the mindset if it belongs to highways rather than being on minor routes. This is what happens with our brain, and this is what happens with archetypes. In the next lessons, we will talk about archetypes one by one. And by the end, you will be an expert of archetypes. I really hope so. Bye-bye.